People have always been involved in engineering, and that's why they tried to be the best at it. The projects they built many centuries ago were the biggest during that time. However, you'll agree that even today some of them are huge projects that amaze everyone, and many people wonder how it was even possible to build something like that at a time when there was no advanced technology like today. If you could go back in time, would you go and see how the wonders of the world were built back then? We would too. Of course, sacred sites, cities, tombs, and monuments for international acclaim all appear on the list of the largest projects in the world. Here are some of the largest construction projects that have been created throughout history. The Great Wall of China is a well-known building. According to the opinion of some experts, the construction of this building would be a mega project even today, which would require a lot of effort and work. The Great Wall of China is the longest in the world. It was made of stone, brick, tamped earth, wood, and other materials. It stretches approximately 21,196 kilometers from east to west of China, with a height of 5 to 8 meters. The Great Wall of China has a long history, more than 2,300 years. It was built to protect the Chinese states and empires against the raids and invasions of the various nomadic groups of the Eurasian steppe. The Great Pyramid is the tallest man-made structure in the world, 3,800 years. The structure is made of 2.3 million stone blocks that weigh from 2 to 30 tons each, and there are even some blocks that weigh over 50 tons. There are 3 known chambers inside the Great Pyramid. The first one is cut into the bedrock, the second one is Queen's Chamber, and the third one is King's Chamber. It was originally covered with casing stones. These casing stones reflected the sun's light and made the pyramid shine. The question of how the pyramids were built is still open. The most possible one is that the Egyptians employed a sloping and encircling embankment of brick, earth, and sand, which was increased in height and length. Who knows how many times you have passed this bridge, and you certainly did not know that it was one of the great mega projects in history. The Brooklyn Bridge is a hybrid cable-stayed suspension bridge in New York City and is one of the oldest roadway bridges in the United States. It connects the boroughs of Manhattan and Brooklyn, spanning the East River. It has a main span of 1,595.5 feet and was the first steel wire suspension bridge constructed. The masterwork of John Augustus Roebling, finished by his son Washington Roebling, the Brooklyn Bridge was built from 1869 to 1883. The bridge's 2 towers were built by floating 2 caissons, giant upside-down boxes made of southern yellow pine, in the span of the East River, and then beginning to build the stone towers on top of them until they sank to the bottom of the river. Compressed air was pumped into the caissons, and workers entered the space to dig the sediment until the caissons sank to the bedrock. Clever and interesting construction solution, isn't it? One of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken, the Panama Canal is a 51-mile-long waterway in Panama. It connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, allowing ships to pass between North and South America instead of the natural channels, or around Cape Horn, shortening the trip by 9,000 miles. The locks were embedded with culverts that leveraged gravity to raise and lower water levels. Ultimately, the 3 locks along the canal route lifted ships 85 feet above sea level to man-made Gatun Lake in the middle. The entire enterprise was powered by electricity and run through a control board. The Burj Khalifa has been the tallest structure and building in the world with a total height of 829.8 meters. The Dubai Tower is the centerpiece of a larger development that includes residences, shopping, and office space. Construction of the Burj Khalifa began in 2004, with the exterior completed 5 years later in 2009. The primary structure is reinforced concrete. Some 211,200 tons of concrete have been poured, and over 145 concrete piles have been laid at depths of over 72 meters to ensure stability of the structure. The foundation was designed to support the total building weight of approximately 450,000 tons. At the time of the construction of the Pyramid of the Chinese Wall, it was probably unimaginable to people that one day a mega tunnel project would be designed to be dug under the sea. But guess what? That project was conceived centuries later, and thus the English Channel Tunnel was born. The English Channel Tunnel, also called Eurotunnel, is a rail tunnel that runs between England and France beneath the English Channel. The construction started in 1988 and opened in 1994. The Channel Tunnel is 31 miles long and 250 feet deep. It has the longest undersea portion of any tunnel in the world, 23.5 miles. It consists of 3 tunnels, 2 for rail traffic and a central tunnel for services and security. It takes around 35 minutes to travel the length of the Channel Tunnel. The digging of the Channel Tunnel began from the British and the French coasts, with the finished tunnel meeting in the middle. One of the most difficult tasks of the Channel Tunnel project was making sure that both the British side of the tunnel and the French side met up in the middle, so special lasers and surveying equipment were used. The most beautiful bridge in the world, the Golden Gate Bridge, is a suspension bridge that connects San Francisco Bay and the Pacific Ocean. With towers extending 746 feet into the sky and over 100 feet beneath the bay, the bridge is also an engineering marvel. The cables are settled horizontally between 2 massive concrete blocks on each side of the bridge, with additional vertical cables called suspender ropes attaching the main cable to the bridge's deck or roadway. Vehicles push down on the roadway, but the suspender ropes transfer that load to the main cables, which transfer it to the towers, which support most of the weight.